morning. Good morning. Welcome to High Performer Lifestyle. I'm Jessica Perez-Beebe. Oh, I just realized I had my picture behind me. As you come on here on Facebook Live, if you're joining me live, please say hello so that I can see you. And if you're watching the replay, say hello as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, drop me a comment so that I can come in and say hi to you and converse with you and give you some feedback. So today's topic is money, 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 money. Here inside the Facebook group, it was one of the, I think, top 3 or top 4 things that you said you wanted some support with, right? So this group is about how do you live a high performer lifestyle? How do you create high performer, better than average results in your day-to-day life, in different areas of your life, right? Not just in one area, but in all areas of your life. And what's really cool is right now I am actually doing a show called Not Born to Be Average. And this is one of the topics that comes up, is money. And the truth is, money can be and really is a measure, indication of how much you're living into your purpose. And it's definitely an indication of what you believe about money and therefore what you manifest or do not manifest about money. And so money for some reason is such a topic of stress for people, and it doesn't need to be. And I know because I came from that story of money being a stress, and my whole story growing up was money was hard to come by, and money was a struggle, and money was for other people, and we're good people, they're bad people, right? Rich against poor. So I understand how ingrained our money stories can be. And I understand from a personal perspective and also from supporting other people in this and just what I see on a daily basis and what you see on a daily basis. I understand clearly how much our stories around money can control our life. And I want you to know that that is a choice. If you do not want money to control your life, and that's negative and or positive, if you do not want money to control you, then you've got to rewrite your money story. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And if this is a topic that resonates with you, let me know in the comments, and let me know what your sticking points are, your blocks. Let me know what your limiting beliefs or your fears are around money. And what I'm going to do today is give you a little exercise that you can do to help you really unpack this, okay? So here's what I want to first say to you in terms of the law of attraction. So there was, I don't know how many of you follow Esther Hicks in the teachings of Abraham, but there was a person in one of their seminars, a teacher, who explained how the teachings of Abraham had really helped him overcome, a difficult upbringing in a rough neighborhood, how it helped him excel in school, how it helped him to become a good teacher, to overcome money stories and all of that. I had the same experience. That is what learning about the law of attraction and the power of where I put my focus and how I focus on where I want to be versus where I am. Doesn't mean I'm not in the present moment, but I don't focus on things in the present that are not what I want to recreate more of. And I learned that at a very young age. So as I was watching this person, this guy in the audience, I resonated right away. And I also resonated with the next question that he asked. He was basically saying, how do I talk to the kids that I'm teaching, right? How do I talk to the kids in my school who are constantly being affected by gang activity, violence at home, drugs in their neighborhood, crime, poverty? Like, how do I talk to them in a way that has them not repeat this mindset? I call it changing the mindset DNA. How do I speak to them in a way that has them, realize that there gets to be another way? And after a long pause, I'm paraphrasing, Abraham said, Tell them, now I want you to feel this, be in this moment. Be in this moment, because this is the way you get to speak to yourself and to people that you're coaching, to people in your family. Tell them how excited you are for them to live into their future, to live into their future. Tell them how the sky is the limit. Tell them how excited you are that they now have the opportunity to become the president of the United States of America. Tell them what you believe is possible. Come from a place of knowing that what you believe is possible for them, what you believe is possible for them, creates the energetic space for them to expand their own consciousness, right? It comes from what you believe. She's telling this teacher, he's telling this teacher, it comes from what you believe is possible for them. And this is what's important for all of us to get. When we are raised in environments where the adults and the community don't believe something bigger is possible, we take that in. We take that in and we make it our own belief. We make it our own reality. And the truth is, it's only because we have accepted their limited believing, their limited thinking. Now, here's this teacher who is opened up in his consciousness and is going to make a huge difference for these kids because of helping them to believe something into the future. And this is not woo-woo, right? This is not woo-woo. Think about all the people, you know, that have been poverty stricken in the world and how they've overcome their circumstances and created successful lives, right? Many successful people in the United States, think about it. They were immigrants first with very little, right? And we can go back through our own generations and see that. People from other countries coming here to make a better life, to live the American dream. Possibilities are everywhere. So why can't we believe it's possible for everyone to create an abundant future? It is, but it requires each person to believe it to be possible and to see it in the future to be possible. Think about Barack Obama being president, right? It hadn't been imaginable for anyone, you know, who wasn't a Caucasian to hold that job at a certain point. Now it's no longer true, right? So the only thing holding any of us back from having anything more, money is no different than relationships, than fitness, right? The thing is, the problem is there's so much negative mindsets and limiting beliefs around money that are ingrained in this culture. And what happens is, and not just this culture, many cultures, what happens is it becomes a collective consciousness. So the more people who are believing in the limits and believing in the lack of and believing in the judgments and all of that, that puts more energy into that belief. And so you hear more people reaffirming those beliefs and those limits, and then you start to reaffirm them and say to your friends, yeah, see, and they reaffirm, yeah, I know, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, how many of you have grown up like that? I know I did. And so for those of us who did, and many of us, most of us probably did, you've got to do the work to rewrite your own money story. The reason it's been easier for you to create perhaps fitness results in your life or educational results in your life or whatever is because you believed that more to be possible for you. But it doesn't mean that the other is not, the other meaning money. So why are you still struggling to be abundant? Why is money still controlling you? So to manifest something, anything, you need to be in energetic alignment with it. If you didn't see my video yesterday, go back and watch it. Listen, the average person allows themselves to be run by money, either the belief that there's not enough, or the belief that they need more, or the belief that they've got to hold on, whatever it is, whether you are, you know, you have a ton of money or you have no money, It's still about what you believe about it and how you allow it to control you or not control you. That is in the way of you being in flow, in energetic alignment. That's how the average person lives. We don't want average results. If you're in this group, if you're in high performer lifestyle, you want greater than average results. You know that you are born for more. You know that you have a calling in your heart and in your soul, like a God-given gift and calling to transform some area of your life. And if money is still holding you back, it's going to leak into all areas of your life. Money is just energy, like everything else. Money is just energy, like everything else. So we're going to do a little exercise, okay? We're going to do a little exercise that comes from my Get Set method around money. Are you guys with me? Is this landing with you? Throw any questions that you have in here that you want specific feedback on your own money story. But here's what we're going to do. Let's jump into, I'm just going to give you an overview of this. And if you've got a paper and a pencil, grab it now. Or if you can type this out on your computer while we're talking, do it now. So this comes directly from my Get Set method. At one point in my life, after people kept asking me, how in every area of your life do you keep creating these transformations, right? How did you go from, overweight smoker to, this fitness, like not fitness guru, but like somebody who, for 10 years was teaching fitness and nutrition and health. And then I became an elite athlete and now a professional athlete. How did you do that? How did you go from growing up in poverty and being on public assistance and going to the store with food stamps and having all these limiting beliefs around money and being in debt and having a credit score of like 500 or something at one point? How did you transform all that to be where you are now? That's just 1-2 examples. I've been able to do that over and over again. And finally, when I sat down to go back and connect the dots, I realized I had a method for the same way, for the way I created transformation in every single thing. It didn't matter if it was money. It didn't matter if it was confidence and belief in myself. It didn't matter if it was about my fitness, about relationships. It didn't matter if it was about like getting rid of my fear of speaking. Everything came from the same method. Okay, there's a couple pieces leading up to this, but this mindset evaluation is still the thing that I go to whenever I realize I'm stuck somewhere. And it's one of the pieces that my clients go to over and over again too. Like if we're stuck somewhere and there's like, there's energetically no alignment with what it is they say they want. It's like, think about this in your own life. I want more money, or I want the relationship, or I want this, career. Yet you keep hitting a wall. And it's not just like you failing forward. It's you hitting a wall, like almost being paralyzed by it, right? Or like just spinning and spinning and spinning. That means you need to go back and clear the clutter. Clear the clutter in your mind, which then puts you in a certain vibrational frequency that is out of alignment with where you say you want to go. How do you get from where you are to where you say you want to go? Well, if you got all this junk in the middle, it's going to be really hard. So we got to clear all that. Okay. So the old limiting beliefs and mindsets that we have regarding a goal or a vision is what's blocking you from actually creating it, manifesting it, attracting it, having it. Okay. So you've got to be aware of what your old scripts are. In order to rewrite them, remove them, rescript them, you need to actually know what they are. You need to call it out, right? You need to identify where it even came from so that when it pops up in your mind, you can say, oh, that isn't even my belief. That was my mom's belief because that was her family's belief. Okay, whew, I got it. It's just a memory that's on autoplay. It's not actually what I believe. I get to create my own beliefs. How empowering is that? If that's empowering to you, like, let me know, throw a heart up. We deserve to get a heart for that. You get to create your own beliefs. And whatever you believe will actually follow. It's just the way that it is. And you can look at your own life and see this for sure. Okay, so let's do this exercise. I want you to identify what is a first of all, what's a financial goal that you have? We're talking just about money right now. What is a financial goal that you have, or even a desire you have around money, or a feeling you want to have around money? Identify that first. Whether it's like, for some reason, I really want to be a millionaire. I got to be honest. Just wanting to make money for the sake of money isn't going to get you far. It will get you to some initial goals, but if you want to be joyful around it, you've got to have something more meaningful attached to it, a bigger purpose, a bigger why. However, you still can set a financial goal and work towards it in the manifesting process that we're going to do. So whether it's a specific goal or whether it's not even that, at a certain point for me, it was never actually a number. It was, I want to, what I desire is the experience and relationship with money that will allow me to like put money out, invest in myself, buy beautiful things that I like, treat my friends, go out to great dinners, and just keep replenishing money coming in, money going out. And I see this big, beautiful house that I want to live in and these trips that I want to take. So for me, it was often more of that. And I would get really specific about the experiences that I wanted, right? So it wasn't necessarily a number for me. At different times it has been, and particularly I'll set financial goals throughout the quarter and stuff like that. But identify what is the goal and the feeling that you want to have around money and finances. You might not be able to do this all right now, so write the questions down and then you can do them after the video. So here's where you're going to get inquisitive, okay? What I want you to do now is identify the limiting belief or whatever mindset you have around money. So just start to brain dump what comes up right away. Like, think of things from that you always heard growing up. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is hard to come by. Money is evil. Whatever you believe about money, whatever like is automatic, not what you intellectually know because you hear people say it, but what you know is on repeat in your mind. Like for me, at one point it was, we just make it enough to just get by. We make enough to just get by. That was always kind of stuck in my head, that we're always going to be playing catch up, or we're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck. For others, it might be like your thoughts around money might be, you need to have money, and money is the number one thing, your value is tied to it. Whatever it is, brain dump it out. Just start to write out, what is it that comes to mind when you think about money? Then you need to identify, where did it come from? Where did those thoughts come from? Your parents, your church, your aunts, your uncles. Where did it come from? Then you're going to ask yourself, how has this belief around money actually served me in the past? For example, perhaps in the past, it kept you united to the community and the friends that you were with. It gave you something to relate to. You got to unite with people of a like mind. I mean, that's the truth. Whether our thoughts and beliefs are positive, self-serving, or not self-serving and negative, very often we stay in them because we're in communities of people that share the same thing, and it's comforting. It can be comforting to realize, oh yeah, we believe the same thing. There's like an alignment, a buddy system. So how did it serve you? Did it allow you to not go for your dream, and it protected you from not failing or getting hurt? Identify the ways in which it served you. Then next, how has it harmed me or held me back in the past? How has it harmed me or held me back? Perhaps it held you back because you didn't go for that goal, right? Perhaps it held you back because you repeated a cycle of like, not paying your bills on time, right? Go through all of the ways that it held you back. Now, ask yourself, how is that belief that I just wrote down about money, the mindset I have around money, how's it serving me right now? Is it protecting you right now? How is it serving you? Is it making you right and making others wrong? And then how is it harming you or holding you back right now? How is it harming you or holding you back? That one should be easy. So your 5 questions are, once you identify what your thoughts and beliefs are around money, what your mindset is, number 1, where did it come from? Number 2, how has it served me in the past? Number 3, how has it harmed me in the past? Number 4, how's it serving me now? Number 5, how is it harming me now? Okay? And I want you to go deep on this. It's very insightful. Some of it will be like, common sense. Some of it will be, oh, wow, I didn't realize I thought this way. And then identify, like, what's your biggest takeaway? What did you get out of this? What surprised you out of it? Oftentimes we can pinpoint the moment in our life that we adopted this belief, right? We could think back to like a conversation or evidence that we collected to make it right. Okay, so identify that if you're able to pinpoint a specific time. And from this exercise, ultimately, you want to ask yourself, what do I now know or understand about myself as I look at this evaluation around money that I didn't know or understand before? And once you identify what this has told you about yourself, then you've got some clarity, right? It's all about clearing that clutter in your mind, right? Because like thoughts coming in all the time on autoplay. Once you've got that clarity around it, then you can decide how you want to re-script those thoughts and beliefs. You can decide how you want to re-script them, okay? And we'll talk about that tomorrow. So you guys, thanks for being here with me. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments and I will be back on to answer them later. Hi Cedro, Sandra, Catherine, Meredith, Jim, Jennifer. Lots of love to you guys and I'll see you tomorrow.